Okay, we're going to look at something called quartiles. Quartiles. And a quartile, it's about quarters. And this is what you do. The first quartile is the second quarter, a second quartile. 2 quarters make a half, and that puts you right in the middle. So the name for that is the median. And all the median means is, we've done that before, it's just the middle of the data. Now here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces of data. Well, the sixth piece of data is this number 7, and it's right in the middle. 5 smaller and 5 bigger, it's right in the middle. It's called the median when it's organized from smallest to biggest. So there you go. Your median is 7. We also call that the second quartile. Now, all the lower quartile is the middle of the bottom half. So it's kind of like the first quarter lies below here. Well, if there's 5 numbers, the middle is just 4. So that's your first quartile. And the middle of the top half, well, there are 5 numbers. That number 9 is right in the middle of those 5 numbers, and it's called the third quartile. Now, when you have an even number of numbers, things can get a little trickier. So let's just take a look at that. Here, if we look here, we've actually got, well, 6 on the bottom, 6 on the top. There's 13 numbers here, 13 numbers. Well, there's a formula. You know, you can go 13 plus 1 is 14 times a half is 7. This is the 7th position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's why the median's right there. I just think it's a little easier. The median's the middle. So if you've got 13 things, there's 6 on the bottom and 6 on the top. There's that number 6 in the middle of those 13 pieces of data. Well, now it gets a little bit trickier, though, because the median, the middle of an even number is in between 4 and 5. There's the middle. There's 3 smaller, 3 bigger. And what you have to do, first, you can see that it's between the 4 and the 5, or you can go 6 plus 1 divided by 2. It's in the 3.5 position. It's in between the 3rd and 4th position. But how do we calculate it? Well, we just find the average. We go 4 plus 5 divided by 2, and there's our first quartile, 4.5. So when you have an even number, you've got to add them and divide by 2. Let's look up here. We've got 6 numbers here. The middle, 6 positions. So 6 plus 1 divided by 2, the 3.5 position, it's right in the middle of 8 and 9. So we find the average of 8 and 9. 8 plus 9 divided by 2, the third quartile is 8.5. I'll just mention, if somebody said, find the range of this data, we'd take the maximum and we'd subtract the minimum. The range would be 8, 10 minus 2. Well, there's another thing called the interquartile range, the range of the third quartile and the first quartile. And you might even guess what the range might mean. You're supposed to subtract them. So the interquartile range would be 8.5 minus 4.5. It would equal 4. Interquartile range, just subtract the 2 quartiles. It's an important thing in statistics later on, so probably pretty good to know. Anyways, the median's right in the middle, and the lower quartile, or Q1, is in the middle of the bottom half of the data. And the upper quartile, or Q3, is in the middle of the top half of the data. Remember, you've got to organize it from in ascending order, from smallest to biggest, for this to work. Okay.